Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, April 16th, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is my alignment is my ultimate responsibility. And Wednesday, when we wake up, Mercury will have moved out of Pisces into Aries. And we're winding up the retro shade, but we still have few more days of Mercury in the retro shade. And even though it's moving into Aries, which is fire, so different than the Pisces water, all day long Mercury is going to be hanging out at the zero, and Mercury will be meeting later in the evening Neptune. So even though it has some big shift in this, right? Moving out of Pisces, finishing up that cycle, and moving into Aries and beginning a new cycle, still, it's a little watery, it's definitely ungrounded, a little unfounded, and you may feel kind of weird. And anytime Mercury is at zero, we can get the Mercury shenanigans. And I'm laughing because I posted something on my Instagram stories that said, if I shenaned once, I'll shenan again. And I posted, that's Mercury's motto, basically. So be aware, today may push your Mercury shenanigan buttons. There just might be some of that stuff. But beyond that, just be very aware of like the floaty nature. Now, this can be amazing for some beautiful insight coming through. But it can also be profound for some illusion and delusion. And sometimes we like to utilize that, but I think we want to be very aware when it comes from outside of ourselves, right? Like when we're not creating the story, even when we're creating the story, like being aware, like what is the intention? Joe always says, intention is the mother of all movement. And it's so important to keep our awareness around that. That's part of our alignment responsibility. Because if your intention is aligned and connected to light, and when your intention is shenanigan, when your intention is shadow. So awareness of that. Now with Mercury in Aries, we are connecting our mind to our I am. And again, this is our third pass of Mercury being here. It's going to get to 9 degrees before it gets out of the retro shade, which is where we had our eclipse. And this is a really good time just to keep asking yourself, who am I? Who am I here to be? How am I being called to show up? How am I being called to take action? And then listening for the response and noticing the alignment in your life for this. So a lot of times, Aries doesn't necessarily stop for the philosophical, but being that Mercury is starting its process in a conjunction with Neptune, I think there's some space for this, that we can all contemplate these energies and maybe get some answers, and maybe notice some places where we don't have that alignment. Maybe notice some places where we are wearing a mask or playing a role, and it doesn't feel aligned anymore. That's going to be this work. This is prep for more planets coming into Aries, specifically Saturn. Saturn moving into Aries is really going to push some deeper layers of responsibility around our I am selves. And so if we can get some insight now, it's not that we have to change and make it all so right now, but even having the understanding, bringing the awareness can help bring those shifts. So that's going to be powerful. Now, speaking of Saturn is preparing to meet with the North Node. That's actually going to happen tomorrow. They're going to begin hanging out at the same degree. They're going to move to 26 degrees Pisces. And so this is kind of like a double check-in energy with Mercury now in Aries. Am I in my alignment? Am I here participating in the mission that I came here for. Now, I think that all of us who are here on this planet right now, we are participating. But are you participating in the way that you signed up for? And I think with the North Node in Pisces, that some of how we showed up is because we are the dreamers, we are visionaries. We can work in the invisible. We know the power of working in the visible, in the invisible and the visible, both. But I mean the invisible. Saturn and the North Node will be kind of hyping that and pushing that for the next few days. We'll also have Venus joining in, reminding us, like, to envision through the rose-colored glasses, because we can create that world. And I know it looks anything but that. Like, one snippet of the news can be kind of heartbreaking, heart-wrenching right now. And yet, we have to remember our creator power that is imbued within all of us, and that we see this contrast, we see what we don't like, so that we can hold space and envision what we do. So keep that in mind. That is part of all of our I am. I am visionary. I am daydreamer. I am creator energy. And on top of all of this, Moon in Sagittarius is helping us hold space for divine possibility. So we have the Moon in Sagittarius. It's not making too many connections today, but it is connecting with Pluto in Aquarius. So speaking of vision and vibration for the world. Now, this is happening while many of us will be in dream time, but this will be good to connect in to the vision. And Pluto and the Moon will be meeting at 3 degrees, which is a degree of expansion. So see, before you go to bed, and maybe when you wake up, if you can hold space for that expansive vision of friendliness in the world. All of us working together and cohabitating our beautiful little Earth. Now, I do want to mention, Mars is shifting tomorrow night. Thursday night, Mars is going to move into Leo. Again, finishing up this retrograde sequence as well. So, dogs, gate open, dogs everywhere, running joyfully, balls are flying, tennis balls. So, I'm 5. So this is nice too, but Mars will be at this 29th degree. It is wrapping it up. So please do not disregard the space for some snappy, reactive feels moving through. Cancer can always push the feels, and sometimes it can feel very sensitive. And I think things are ripe for miscommunication with Mercury at 0 and the shenanigans. So just be aware of that. Mars will not be shifting until Thursday evening. For some of people, it'll be Friday even. Friday early morning. But got a little bit more of this Mars 29 energy that we're moving through. Let's look at these cards. It's really funny because most of the cards are upside down. And I feel like it's because Mercury at 0 is going to feel a little topsy-turvy. So we've got the burden, and this feels a little bit like the Pixies, where is my mind, right? But when you find it, you may feel like, oh, go ahead, go back out. Go back out there. We also have Be Here Now in reverse. Taking time to get grounded will certainly be helpful today. Ground your mind. Hocus pocus, bring that focus. We may even have a little bit of trouble doing the vision piece with the silence card. And it might be because we are so hyper-focused on what's happening in reality. So please give yourself a little time to meditate and connect to your guidance, your higher self, all of those upper layers that are reminding us there is friendliness in the universe. There's so much friendliness. There's so much goodness. There's so much love. And wow, it's not as easy to focus on that when things are like how they are. But we have to, even more so now. Love these two cards together. Change and clearing. So change is when the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. And clearing takes this to another layer. A true offering arises and it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust more will always arrive. You shift from mine, mine, mine to God's, God's, God's. And I think part of the alignment is recognizing God, universe's plan unfolding in all of this. And we're part of the toolbox. We're part of the spiritual light toolbox that is bringing beautiful change. And our greatest work is surrendering to our personal flow, to that calling energy, and aligning with it, I think, personally. So, gonna leave that there for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. And the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. And may your guiding light be strong, and know that you can trust your process. But also, remember who you are. Namaste.